Welcome to War Games. We will get you ready for your next sales opportunity. Are you looking to win the sales battle? You have joined the right team. Here on the War Games Group, we take the strategies and mindsets from the most successful salespeople and share it with you. With our help, you won't have to fail your way to the top. When it comes to crossing the minefield of sales, step in the footprints of those that crossed before you. Prepare yourself for boot camp and beyond. It's time for War Games to begin.
Shall we play a game?
War Gamers, happy Wednesday. It is me, your host, Joe Ingram. I just want to say thanks for stopping the middle of your week so you can learn how to sell something by the end of the week. Hopefully you'll just leave today and sell something. One of the things that I wanted to share with you today, so I've been thinking a lot about this. We're at that point with we need to make new goals. We need to make new resolutions. We need to make this stuff. Mark Rodriguez was doing a live stream last night, and he said the same thing. He was like, Joe came up and Ken asked about, hey, how much, who's got their goals done? And then Joe rattled off a whole bunch of stuff. Well, we have a goal setting War Games that we've done before. So I just want to make sure you guys understand it's all there on how you're going to set goals. But for example, behind me, there's dates and goals that I put together for this year. What they are doesn't matter because it's all about you. And so rather than sit back and say, hey, let's go ahead. Hello. Let me say hi to everybody as they come in. So Charles Coachman, thank you so much. Everybody say hi to Charles Coachman. Matt Denny joined us. Megan Watson's here. Michelle, that's you over there on the Hello Joe, Facebook.com/ or StreamYard.com/Facebook. And then it'll let you put your picture back up there. So Megan, that was you up here at the top. You and Michelle look an awful lot alike if you look at that. So guys, what I want to do is I want you to sit back and I'm going to tell you this, right? Right now, today's the 5th. So if I was looking at that, I would tell you what, most of us have already failed on whatever goal we set for ourselves to start the month off. And we said, okay, we already fell off of our diet. We already fell off on what we're going to do for fitness. We've already stopped doing other things for our business. I've already stopped doing my prospect calls today. And we're like, we've still got 3+ hours to keep chasing after that. And that's only if you were punching a clock. So as business owners, we're not. But I'm going to say the biggest thing that you have to look at is that our driving factor is the fact that we don't feel like it. Can you relate to that? You just sit back and go, well, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like going out there and doing that again. It's bugging me. I don't want to do that. Well, of course you don't. No one does. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a quote that I put out a while ago and I found it on my phone. And I was like, ooh, this is going to work, right? Feelings get people to spend money, not make money. So just do the work regardless of how you feel. Will you feel better if you're having success in what you're doing? Absolutely. But having success in what you're doing comes from you doing it. And too often we sit down, not do what we're supposed to be doing. And when we don't do what we're supposed to be doing, is what's going to happen. We don't get any results. Oh, there's Miss Amy Lee, sister from another mister. If you look at that and say, I'm supposed to be doing something and I'm not doing it, then the easiest thing for you to do is to do what? Do nothing. I'm going to do nothing and sit back because doing nothing was what you were doing before that made you stop and feel less than desirable at that point. So if that's the case, why would you continue doing what you already is not giving you the emotional high that you're trying to do? Miss Farha, so good to see you. Congratulations on the little one that's baking in the oven. See, I follow social media. I want you guys to understand, I want to talk about emotions. Do you realize that most of the people that are out there, like the number one thing you have to understand with people is that we make purchasing decisions based on emotion. And based on emotion, if I'm going to stay completely logical with you, So you're logical about something, and I'm going to come sell you something logically, right? And you all know this. You all know Joe's going to sit back and be as logical as possible when it comes to it, because you can't argue with logic. But I have always said my job as a salesperson is to give you a logical explanation to justify your emotional decision. Can you give me the logic that I can explain to somebody else onto why I'm paying for your program, as to why I'm buying this product from you, or why I need to have your service and it's going to make a difference for me? So people make their decisions based on a feeling. There has been times where you were sitting down watching a video and somebody was explaining to you that this is why you need this product. And you said, oh, I do need this. I do need this. And you say, I need this product. But as you're sitting there and you go to click submit, right? If you look at the same thing and say, guess what? Because I tell this too, right? A confused mind will never click submit on your form. So if they will not click submit on your form to buy something, then what happens to you? You get no sale and you think the ad's wrong. Maybe it's the way you said it. Maybe it's the way you were actually trying to market to somebody. Look, there's the guy I talked about earlier, Mark Rodriguez. Wonderful to see you. Ken Walls. Yes, Ken Walls. We were on the phone moments ago, to which I said, Ken, I have to leave now. I have war games. So Ron Siegel, is there still a bunch of people in your office today? I want you guys to understand, I need to get people emotional, provide them with that logical reasoning to explain to somebody else, right? Yes, the confused mind never buys. I took it digital and said a confused mind will never click submit. It will not click submit. Natalie Esman, this is like our second online meeting this week. So you will not sit back and you will not come back on and spend some time. Look, we got VIP Margot that jumped in. Hi, Margot. Look at you. I'm going to move you over there on the side. I want you to say, if they need an emotional reason to purchase from you, and like only 98% of the people out there need it, right? You may have 2 people that just say, no, you can do what you want. I see the logic. I'll buy it. You have to give me that logical justification for my emotional decision. So I have to be able to keep you in the emotional side of things while you believe you're in the logical side of things. So I will justify my decision with a fact, but if I don't have a fact to justify with, I'm not buying from you. So if you're watching a video, you go through that as we were saying before, and then all of a sudden you just can't click that button that says charge me, then what is your issue? Your issue today is the fact that that person has done something to make you not like or trust them. Something in that video was too good to be true. Something in that video that you watched on that product was like, this is disturbing. And so if it's disturbing for you, but you don't understand what it is, they didn't do a good enough job. Maybe they got you to be emotional and then it was over. And so we'll go ahead and put that joke on. Women understand that. So you got to get there. Mark, you're so brilliant when you do that. Whenever you quote me, Mark, you are spot on, genius. So I want you to understand, I'm going to give you a couple tricks to keep somebody engaged with you. The point is, how do I keep them engaged? The first thing I want to talk about is we want to do what we call an open loop. An open loop. So, for example, if I were to sit back, everybody but Ken Walls will understand this. But if I said, sorry, Miss Jackson, I am, and I just stopped. Okay. So what happened to everybody that's listening out there? You sit back and say, finish it. Finish it. I am for real. I got to finish it for you. But when I don't, it leaves you. Thank you. See, I knew Mark Rodriguez would get it because we sing it to each other all the time. Okay. And it's like looking at that. No way. Guys, Robbie Cornelius is here. Woo! He's out on YouTube. But Robbie, so much love for that man. I want you guys to understand, if I am opening a loop means you haven't finished what's there. So if you don't finish it, the brain wants you to. So I become more attentive to what it is you're doing. So I'm going to pay attention to you more. So for example, whatever it is you're selling. So if it's like for my realtor people out here or alone that's out here, Robbie, you are like the celebrity that just joined. We're going to have you back on the show. Look at everybody out here going, no, it's Robbie, it's Robbie. Poor Margot's like, I'm here on the screen. I don't know why you guys are ignoring me. So they all said it. I just hid it. You can't see it because my ego is going to get bruised. So looking at this, guys, what I want you to understand. So the house you dreamed about, the car you dreamed about, that's me starting something. Okay. But I haven't given, how do you finish that? Right? Margot, you're the only person on. So sorry, everybody else gonna have to type in an answer. If I started with the house you dreamed about, okay, how do we end that? How does your brain think we have to end this all the way through? They're thinking, I need to buy a house that is the one I dreamed about. So the end result is what I want to do, which is to sell something. So when I look at that and throw it out and say, okay, so what is it that you're trying to provide for somebody, right? The profitability that you can receive today and sustain. Okay. Did I tell you how to do it? No, I just threw out there that open loop, and it keeps you out there knowing I need to pay attention for the rest so that I can get the answer to that one. So that's our first strategy, is open up the loop. If I said, the easiest thing for us to do is to give you the profitability you deserve and get it to you right now, right? And you can do that by buying my course. Okay, so what do I just closed the loop. Do you care anymore? The only thing you're going to do while I'm talking is go click over to see how much the course is. You're going to say, is it worth it? Based on what he wants me to say. But I never kept you engaged long enough for you to do that. So I took you and I gave you the emotional plug and gave you the logical answer at the same time. So as soon as I do that, excuse me, what does that do to you? You're like, great, I'm done. See ya. Okay, hold on. Ron would like me to do this so that Margot is the same size. So you're right. We should probably just go back to this one and just make Margot larger this way. So she's like, yes. I know she's just shy, Ron. Just like you with the guy on the radio show and all the stuff that's out there. If you guys look at that, I want you to say, so I want you guys to start thinking about, how do you open a loop? How do you start something that you could close at the end after you put everything in to what your presentation is going to be? Okay. So keep the loop open until you're done with what all the value that needs to be there. And what'll happen is they will pay attention to you during that presentation. For example, for all the car people that watch, customer walks up, looks at you, points at a car and says, how much is this a month? And you go, that's about $650 a month. Are they going to listen to you now when you try to describe what's on the car? You go, but let me tell you why it's worth it. They're like, no, I've already decided. If $550 was my budget, I have no reason to continue listening to you. Okay. And every prospect believes they want that answer like this so they can just decide to move on. And then they'll be the first ones to say, if they buy something, well, it wasn't really a great sales experience. It wasn't because I never built the value. It wasn't because I had to start with an open loop to keep you engaged. And instead, I closed the loop right as it opened. They opened the loop and I went, closed, done. Move on. Next, what's going on now? Okay. That's not a salesperson. That's an order taker. That's the waitress or the waiter. When you sit down and say, do you have the special? They go, the special tonight is this. And then if they started talking more, do you care? Or are you looking at the menu because that's not what you wanted? You say, well, if that's this, no, I'm not. I'm just going to move on. And they're like, and we also, done. They could ask me a whole bunch of questions in the middle of that. If we started, they could have said, are you thinking vegetarian? Are you thinking you're looking for steak, chicken? What? And you're like, oh, wow, there's options. Now I'm all excited. And that's where you look at it. Edna, no one likes it depends as an answer. You're right. Edna looks just like Margot and Michelle. Did you notice that? Right? So everybody's just an image. So looking at that, I want you to understand that. Now, can we also bring this up? Right? Who are you going to trust a comment more from? The guy right there with his picture, or Facebook user blank? Okay. Now, I have it over here on the side where I can see that it's Edna. But everybody else, if you stop and look at it, and again, I don't know, should you trust Ken Walls? That's entirely up to you. Make that decision. Don't trust Ron Siegel, even though he's on there. Ron Siegel, if you look at his picture, he put his wife in it to try to bring it all together. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, no, you can trust me now because here's my wife. She's real. Okay. Edna. That's just, you just have to go give permission. That's all. But so this is what you need to understand. You need to get out there, open up a loop, give them something to continue listening to you, understanding that emotions get people to buy things, right? That's what you're trying to do. It doesn't get you to do work. You have to do work. And if you're going to continue, right, that's how they end up buying something. For you to sell something is not an emotional game. You need to get in there and you need to do the work, put your head down and start reaching out to people. Yeah, Brian, I'm sorry. I lowered the barrier of entry to breathing, and that's how we ended up with everybody on here today to go there. So I want you to say now, look, let's go through strategy number 2. So that was strategy number 1, open up a loop to keep them all going with you. Strategy number 2, I want you to understand depth over width. Okay, those people that have been in multi-level marketing, they're like, I know what that means. No, that's not what we're talking about. What I'm saying is that, is it possible, like Ron Siegel, there's a lot of problems with that one thing? Okay, so when you say Ron Siegel, you're like, is that one problem? No, there's a whole bunch of problems Ron has. So that is the width of it. I don't want to go into width. My client is sitting down. My prospect is talking to me and they start giving me the issues that they have in their business. I want to collect them, but focus on one. I want to go into depth on that one issue that I can deliver better than anyone else can. So if that means I'm going to go in and fix one issue. Okay, so Margot, they have a delivery window. I'm so pretending I know what you do. But they have a delivery window. Now, they also have multiple packages. They have multiple things. They got cases, train cars, all this other stuff that they got to deal with. And you go, I can fix all of this for you. But when you say I'm going to fix all of this for them, you're not the rock star that solved one problem. You have to do this. For example, I have a client. I'm sitting down with my client. I go in and I work on their sales processes and I help them to convert more prospects into deals. I work with every level of the sales department. And as I'm sitting with the owner and talking to him, he goes, oh, we're going to go through this remodel and I have to redo all of the service department. So I need to get somebody in the service department that can fix what we have going on. And I started laughing and I was like, yeah, I do that too. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, I do that too. And he's like, wow, really? And I said, yeah. So we can just simply move from this side to this side. And he's like, oh, this is so much easier because you're already in the system. All I have to do is send an email and checks get cut and all this other stuff. We already have all the paperwork on file. I'm like, absolutely. But it was a no-brainer at that point, right? Don't say no-brainer. It was an easy decision at that point for them to go, oh, well, if he's done this and demonstrated this so well in this department, if we move him to this one, it's going to be easier. So you can solve multiple problems. And you can say, Margot, you can say, wow, of those 10 things that are really kicking your butt right now, let's just focus on one of them. I could handle every one of them. But that's going to require way too much time and way too much involvement for both of us. Let's fix one. I'll prove to you what I can do on that one. Then we'll move to the next one. So now I've already set you up. Okay. So I open looped you at that point back to there's more for us to do. And here's the comment of the day right here. Boom. Yes. We don't know what it is. It's different language. What can I tell you? So poor Margot. She's like, it looks like something I don't know. Yeah, I know. I couldn't even say their name. It's there. So when you guys are sitting down, remember, so open the loop. Second thing is get out there and go deep on one issue that they have that you can solve. You can let them on or let them know that there's going to be your ability to handle more than one. But what happens to you when you have 10 things to solve right now? You have to do an assessment and say, what's the easiest one for me to fix? But if you had one thing to do right now, then your emotions wouldn't care. Your emotions wouldn't care. It would be, let's solve the one thing. So that's what you want to look at. So Charles, dropping some wisdom. Which issue, if we were to solve it, would make all the others go away and then lessen their impact on your business? Right? Why? Because the goal is what? Find out how much pain there is. But one thing I want you to understand is that as soon as you say that, okay, in the typical world of sales, I'm going to pick on Charles, but what does that sound like to you? You're asking me to give you the reason, the point to sell me on. And most people are going to feel that I don't want to give you all the answers, because if I give you that answer, you're going to use it against me. And that's just something to pay attention to, is that when people get to that point, they're going to say, ooh, you're trying to sell me something. And I don't want it to be that way. So as they're talking and as you're going through things, you can always ask them questions that's going to send them down another road. Okay. So there's some things that are occurring right now that if you didn't get fixed could hurt your business. What's the downside of not getting that delivery window you said you have? And now all of a sudden they go, oh, that wasn't the same thing of saying, what's the biggest thing and what can I do? Because I will tell you right now, flat out, everybody on this, as you listen to this, if you tell me what your biggest problem is, I'm charging you more to solve it. It's your biggest problem. So what's the downside of not fixing that? And then they're going to tell you what the downside is. And the downside is going to come back to money. If you're going to go strategy number 3, every person out there is trying to survive and thrive. Okay, so they want to survive and thrive. So as your business sits there and goes, I have no business right now, they're like, how am I going to survive? Once they have a business and they start going, they're going to say, what? How do I thrive? Whether you're an employee or not, the answer is, if I do better, I make more money. And then that means what? I thrive as opposed to just survive. Think about it when you have enough money to pay your bills and nothing left. Okay, that's survival. When you're paying your Amex with your MasterCard, okay, that's like, this is me trying to survive. We don't want that, but everybody needs to know how to survive and then how to thrive. And that's where you have to put everything in. Ken, I so is right there. It's like, yep. And I'm okay with that. So looking at this, you need to factor in your solution to give them one of these 4 things: money, time, status, and lifestyle. Okay. Money, time, status, lifestyle. Give them an answer that's going to give them a solution that's going to provide them with money, time, status, or lifestyle. Should the guy with a family of 5 be buying a Corvette? Should he be renting and telling you why he has to buy a Mercedes coupe because it's so much better for what? His image, not for his financial situation, not for anything else. Okay. I need to go buy a house. Why? You should go buy investment properties because the place you have is locked up on a cheap rent right now. Go buy something, make enough money that's going to help pay for your rent plus that payment. Oh, wow, that makes more sense. So let's go find you an investment property. but I have to give you the ability to say, I'm going to give you back money, time, status, or lifestyle. So again, if you give me more money and more time, that's going to immediately do what? Pop up my lifestyle as it comes in. Ken Walls, I got the buttons. I can tell you what to do. I can tell you what to do. Tammy Thrasher, welcome. So looking at that, guys, decide to them how to help them to survive or to thrive. And put everything back on what you're doing, right? So now, when I say money, right, explain back to them in money. That could be savings, or it could be more revenue. So if I took away half of your bills, right? Like out here on the radio, they do, oh my gosh, it's the beginning of the year and we're going to, Christmas, right? It's Christmas. We're going to pay your bills for the month of this. And there's people dialing in, thousands of people dialing in to go, please pay my bill, pay my bill. Okay, great. Show a way that you can cut that expense out of somebody's business and their life. Then you've just talked me into how do I thrive as opposed to just survive. Okay. So to recap, because we got 4 minutes, make sure I get out of here on time at 2:30. Okay. Everybody is emotionally compelled. Everybody is emotionally compelled. You know, because someone could have the solution that you want, and that person could look like the guy in this picture, and you just don't trust them. Just don't like him. You're like, I don't get it. Nope, it's not the same. So then you don't want to buy. And if you don't, then what is that causing for you? You're going to sit back and say, I don't like him. I don't trust him. And it could be the solution you needed. But I don't feel it. It's emotionally, I'm not there. There are times you will go on to whatever site, right, that's out there. Yeah, duh, my show. So there are people out there that you go out and you go click on a site and it's going to have this hotel for $29 a night, this hotel for $31 a night, this one for $50 a night. And you look at it and they rank the same. They're on the same street, but yet something tells you it's better to spend $50. What is it? I don't know. You're the weirdo that's trying to pay twice. I'm not that person. So Margot is much nicer. That's why she's here. She's here to even out the evil. But, you know, the evil's greater. That's why she's smaller over there. Okay. Now, looking at this, guys, what? You emotionally decided to spend more money than what logically made sense. That goes right back to the 4 steps of a sale, which is like, listen, believe, and buy. Okay. If I like you, I'll listen to you. If I listen to you, I can believe you. And if I believe you, then I can buy from you. If you're skipping those steps in between and they buy, they're buying against their inner thing. It's going to be because you went so much cheaper. You devalued yourself or your service so much that they had to take a chance with it. And that's you're never going to be able to sell back to zero. Okay. And you're never going to have a happy person because they went against their own gut. We all understand gut feeling. We all know it's there. So if they're going to do it, feelings get people to spend money, not make money. Discipline gets you to make money. So how disciplined are you at getting what you need to do? So, Ron, so true. I'm a good salesperson, but it's not because of likability. Of course not. It's because I have what we call assumed rapport. I've already decided that you like me. And it's like the Jedi mind trick, right? A lot of the weaker people are like, I already like him. Why? Because he told me. Yes. Look at Mark Rodriguez even says, look how nice she is. Tyler Preston had another great month in the car business. I like it when people text me, look at this. Look how much money I made. Okay. So I got a lot of those at the end of the year. January 1st was like, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, that's awesome. Ron, that's only because you are both the same at the beginning and the end. So, but that's what you're talking about. Feelings get you to spend money, not to make money. Discipline makes the money. Open a loop. Decide what they want. Ken Walls, I appreciate you. Be good, my brother. Put this on Reels later. So, okay, who is this? Olga. Hello. Olga's got triggers to any people who wants to sell to me. Okay. I don't like them because of that. Agreed. And you know what? She has zero furniture in her house. She has none. She doesn't have a car. She does not have anything because everywhere you go, somebody's trying to sell you something. So, but understand, at the same time, if she goes out, Olga goes out and sees a movie, she'll come back and go, oh my God, I saw the best movie. Let me tell you what it was. And then she'll sell us a movie. Okay. We are all selling all the time. It's just she's ran into more shady people than she has the good people. So, because remember, there's always a Margot out there. They're not all Joes. Okay. Look. See that?
You're so sweet. I appreciate it.
I try. Let's come over here, and then we'll move Margot back over here, and then we'll just say, here, Margot, she owns it now. Let's just leave it right here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Margot's now going to teach everybody something on how to use headphones.
Honestly, these are really nice because it helps me focus and stay present because I'm ADHD. So if I see something shiny, hear something, yeah.
Joe left, everyone. Margot's here by herself. Yes. Okay, I'm back. There you go. Switch it out. Okay, so what was the question I have over here? Which strategy is used on vacation properties? Edna here. Okay. Jamie Green, Solar Queen. Hey. See, it's always good to have something that rhymes. Okay, because we all remember that. But Edna, you want to know what's used? And it'll kill you when you're listening to him, because I had talked about this the other day too, was because in vacation properties, they talk to you about, wouldn't you like to do something? So they open a loop. And then they spend the next 10 minutes getting you to say yes to every single thing that they want you to say yes to. And it's painful that way. And just saying yes so many times, you can feel it. So, Margot, if I could show you a way to make more money, is that something that would interest you?
Absolutely.
Great. So if I could show you a way that you could vacation 50 weeks of the year and only work for 2, and we flip the whole system on its ear, would that be worth it to you?
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Doesn't it? Yes. So if you could sit at your house and have money pour in through the windows without doing anything, what if we put an ATM in your house? Would it be more convenient and there was no service fee?
Perfect.
Yes. Okay. So when you look at this, understand her laughter is getting more as we go on, mainly because they're so stupid of the sentences, but because it gets uncomfortable to keep saying yes all the time. And when you get used to, and they know this, guys, they're sitting there literally checking off on the vacation properties. They're checking off the 7 times. They know there's a higher probability for you to say yes if they've collected 7 yeses from you prior to asking you. So it's hilarious that way. So I always say, let's go back with another one. Another no. Go for the no. Thank you, Tyler. Exactly what it is. So, Margot, are you opposed to spending money with a program that you see brings value?
No.
No. So she gets to say no. And in our brains, we go, that's right, I'm in control. I said no. Well, the no meant yes, didn't it? The no meant, oh, yeah, we can do this. So that's what I want you to understand. That was what we did a couple weeks ago with the no questions that comes up. Why are you switching tabs? If you put me in another tab and go back to another one, I'm going to just start screaming. So everybody has to pay attention to why you're screaming, and you have to go find which tab Joe's screaming on. I'm joking.
Me?
No.
You're talking about me? Oh, okay. Sorry.
And then Olga said she's opening her windows. So careful. Sometimes I curse. The neighbors will hear it. They're going to hear it. So when you look at that, I want you guys to understand that. So we're at 2:35. I try to keep it down to 30 minutes because that's the way it is. Psychology, Jamie, isn't it all about psychology? Okay. The only difference is I don't want to hear about your drama and your traumas kind of deal. So I'm not going to say lay down on the couch so I can sell you something. But it's all about human behavior. It's about understanding the individual that you are looking at. So I did this with another group. If you can identify who you are in the world, right, and what your personality traits and what your motivators are, if you can identify it about yourself and realize, wow, these are my triggers, okay? And triggers is not just the meme of the girl going and screaming because the president got elected she didn't like. Triggers cause you to do things. That's the whole point. The trigger for your lights in your house is a switch. So when it's triggered, boom, lights come on. So, which hasn't happened for Ron Siegel in quite a while. It's pretty dark in there. So that's what I want you guys to understand. You've got to get out there and you've got to say, okay, identify who I am. What gets me motivated? What gets this? Because you're going to sell something to 1 out of 4 people because that's the way the numbers work, because that person is like you. You want to make big money? Then you have to actually learn how to deliver in a methodology that is opposite of you. And it'll go there. Well, of course you're going to do it, but I'm going to get you to say no first. And then when we get to that point, it's easier for you to internally say yes. And so, but Jamie is one of these things because she's solar. She's like a huge ball of sunshine walking around, and she only sees the positive in every situation that's there. And then there's Amy Lee. Completely opposite. So no, that's me. I'm the one holding down the negative thing. So, but I want everybody to understand that you need to get out there. Strategy 1, open a loop in the beginning. Strategy 2 is go deep on one issue. Do not go and try to solve every single problem that they have. Strategy number 3, okay, give me a solution that gives me money, time, status, or lifestyle. Once you get all of those things, it's really easy. No matter what the business is, if I could reduce your expenses or increase your profitability, is that a good thing? Yes. Okay. If I could give you back time in your day, would it be worth it? Yeah. So if we could then think about in every industry, and I'll ask you, Margot, is there anybody that's comparing Dart to another company to see who's doing better?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, the partners that we partner with, usually I'll get into a bid, and the examples you brought up are definitely relative, but that's really what's happening, right? There's going to be a bid and there's going to be 3 of us and we do a similar service. But really figuring out, picking that solution for us, it's who is our customers? Why are they our customers? They never leave us. And really niching down on that scope of work. It's distribution. So you could have cross-dock, e-commerce, B2B. But yeah, I agree.
And so everybody is trying to be better than their competitor. So then that's status. Okay. So when I was running the Toyota store, I was number 3 in the nation. Okay. Which meant what? 2 people kicked my butt. Now, the numbers came out in Forbes that was telling us all of the money and the units and this and that. And my competitor down the street that kicked my butt, they had 3 times the number of vehicles sold. But it also listed net profit on the other side. And I was 3 times the net profit than they did. So they did 3 times as much work for 1/3 of the profit. So I did less work and made more money. But all in all, wouldn't I much rather say I'm number 1? I'm number 1. So I got to sit back and go, I'm number 1 at the bank line, right? So when we go to deposit, hey, we're number 1. And that's when you stop and realize, okay, great. Where are you at? What is your benchmark? What's there? But if you can give me status and increase my money and give me more time, which ultimately gives me more lifestyle, then you've got it. So, 1, 2, 3. I think that's all we got. So for this, Miss Margot, thank you for joining me on screen.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate being here. I love it.
Fantastic. Everybody out in digital land, we say thanks for spending your time with us. Get down, write down some goals, go after it. Look at every customer as how do I give them back their money, time, status, or lifestyle. Open the loop in the beginning to get them back in there. Solve one problem before you solve them all, and understand it's all emotional. Provide them with a logical explanation to justify their emotional decision. And that's how you're going to end up doing it. See, Tyler's got it. It's the Joe Margot show, or Margot and Joe. It rhymes. So, but with that, I'm going to tell everybody, go out and sell something. See you next week. Bye-bye.